Hello everybody, I'm back again, and this is the last live stream that I will be doing this week because the rest of this segment is going to be recorded, guys, as you will not see all the details that I'm going to be putting in very soon. Just going to be putting in a few more details from earlier on where we left off. I've done the main basic colour. I just want to put a bit of colour to the eye, a bit of colour to Venom's mouth on the teeth and such, and maybe a little bit towards on his lens of his eye, on the Venom side. Like I said, guys, we've done most of it already, but we're just going to finish up what we got done earlier on in the live stream, and we're still live, guys, so if you want to leave a comment, you feel free to do so. My name's Blut084, BLUT084. Art and Games. I'm here every single day on YouTube, occasionally on Mixer, but every day and night over on Instagram. But yeah, I'm going to be listening to finishing off the Agent Venom Secret Agent to Space night ending full story. So I'm going to get that playing and just get going.
Oh, about you. And the man smiles, telling him, "You can never run far enough. No matter what, we are Jack, and we are everywhere." Just a few weeks ago, nobody. That was until I stumbled upon a storage unit that happened to belong to Jack. I went inside and I changed, and Jack's mind took over. Andy gets back up, stating that she doesn't care. She's heard enough. And Flash stops her, stating that this man is just as much of a victim as she is. He gets up, stating that that's right. He was forced into his little predicament, just like she was. And now it's time for him to go. The man hops on his broom and he takes off, and Flash and Andy follow right behind. As Flash stops, he asks himself if he should really just kill this man. And Andy shouts for him to wait up. Flash tells her that he can't let her come, and Andy says that the guy just killed her father. There's no way that he's going to stop her now. Flash looks at her and says, yes, he can. And he holds his arm out to call that symbiote back. Except it's not returning. The bond shouldn't be so permanent. Andy leans in and tells him, whatever you just tried to do, don't ever do it again. Now get out of her way. As Andy swings off, Flash watches in amazement at how well Andy is adapting to her new powers. It's as if she's a natural. As Andy gets ahead, an explosion goes off, knocking her to the ground. Jack, with the other mercenaries, step out, stating that that's not Venom, it's just a kid. And Constrictor says that he doesn't care who anyone works for. No one is killing a kid. Jack says that that's nice and all, but he should have told him that. And then Flash swings it, kicking Constrictor down. Together, Flash and Andy fight off the mercenaries until it's just Jack left. After Flash knocks him down, Andy picks Jack back up and slowly begins to crush his head. And Flash tells her not to do this. If she goes down this path, there's no coming back. Andy shouts that he's the one who did this to her. Why would he give her this power if he didn't want her to use it? Flash says that he's just trying to protect her. If he could take the symbiote back, he would, but there's something that's wrong. They need to get through this together. And if she kills him now, she'll be on her own. So make the right choice. Sirens begin to go off in the distance, and the police arrive to see all of the mercenaries webbed up. As the days pass, Flash tries to get things back to normal, but the fact is, it can't go back to normal. After the funeral, Andy moved in with her aunt, and her and Flash have kept in contact. But with everything happening, there's just so many questions that need to be answered. How did the symbiote spawn another one like that? How did Andy get so used to the suit so quickly? There's one person that he can ask right now. He's not talking. Flash, life hasn't been very simple with his two new jobs. The first involves him fighting alongside the Guardians of the Galaxy. The second, though, being an agent of the cosmos, is a little more complicated. In the current times, Flash begins to rip apart giant alien crabs, and 803 radios down, telling him that he's not sure why they stopped on this wreck of a planet anyway. After stabbing into another crab, Flash tells him that he heard a cry for help in his head. Again. And as that last crab is destroyed, the native aliens all praise Flash for his help. But before long, it begins to rain. And one of the aliens says that it's heat rain. It burns! Flash quickly expands the Venom symbiote to create a giant bubble and asks the alien where is their village. One mentions that it's down the river, so Flash pushes the bubble into the river and lets it float on. Inside the bubble, Flash says that he heard someone calling for help. What exactly is going on here? Another alien says that the Forma are normally docile creatures, but since the drill came and took away their food, they've been attacking everyone. Flash asks, what drill? And as they get to the village, the alien leads them to a rock ledge. Down in the valley, they see a giant mechanical drill. And the alien says that he's not sure why it's here, but there's no one in it, and every so often, green canisters fly into the sky filled with the Forma's food. Flash tells him he's got this, and he radios over to 803. Seconds later, Flash's ship swoops down from space and blasts the drill, destroying it. As Flash gets on board, the aliens all praise him for his help, calling him a god. He sits down at the command seat, and 803 asks if he's a god now. And Flash responds, telling him just to get them out of there. 803 tells him right away, oh, by the way, we may be trapped, Outside the ship is a giant war cruiser. Before they can fly back to the planet, the cruiser begins to pull them in with a tractor beam. And as the ship docks, Flash hops out and begins to search. And then he calls out that he knows someone's there. An alien jumps down screaming and swinging at Flash, but Flash dodges them and moves away. The alien begins to move in for a second attack, but Flash reaches out grabbing a pipe, asking if they like baseball. With no answer, he cracks the alien in the head, telling him that he guesses not. As the alien stumbles back, Flash calls out that he's pretty sure Clintar are supposed to be peaceful. So he's going to assume that they've got a real nasty piece of work underneath that symbiote. The alien begins to change its arms into blades and tells them, "You have no idea!" The alien lunges forward, and then a voice calls out, telling them all it's enough. Another Clintar steps out, explaining that his name is Mintrel, and her name is Tarna. And like him, they are agents of the cosmos. Tarna shouts that he can't be one of them. He's too weak, barely in sync with his Clintar. And Flash says they may have been getting along pretty well since they've been cleansed and things are going well with them, aside from the voices in his head now. Mintrel tells him that they're not voices. That is the cosmos, and it is their job to answer it. He goes on saying that they have been testing him to see if he's worthy. He's done rather exceptionally. Tarna adds, "Adequate. That's best." And Flash says, "We're all going to be best friends now, aren't we?" As Tarna leaves, saying he's just a waste of time, Flash tells Mintrel that he was just on a planet that was being tapped for fuel with some intense tech. Know anything about it? And Mintrel tells him no, but it is possible that the Rogue may be the same person whose chemical weapons they've been intercepting. Flash boards his ship and asks if it's all connected, and Mintrel says yes. That's why they need him, to find out who's behind all of this. As he leaves, Mintrel adds that Tarna is in charge of training. So if he needs her, just call. She will most definitely probably not answer. Elsewhere on the barren planet, reports begin to come in that they have a lock on the ship that destroyed the drill. One of the aliens asks Lord Merkio for his orders, and he tells them to find their most vile creature in the holding cells and have them follow this so-called Venom. Flash continues his travels, stopping by many planets, helping those in need. And just as he finishes up on the last one and decides that it's time for a break, he gets another call. He says hopefully it's a place where people like high fives or something. And so he flies down to see a volcanic planet with lava flowing everywhere. And he says a giant planet of lava and fire also works, he guesses. 803 mentions that since Clintars are vulnerable to fire, they do have some rumble suits in the back that might help him get on the planet. Flash gets into one of the suits and grabs a rifle, realizing that this will probably work. 803 stops him, telling him, actually, the planet's atmosphere is too volatile to allow gunfire, so you would need to go with this crude weapon instead. Flash looks at the chest and happily tells 803 to open the pod. He's got himself a sword! Seconds later, Flash jumps out of the ship, landing in a river of lava, and 803 radios that he only has 30 minutes in that suit down there. He notices a woman running towards him, and he radios back to hang on. He's about to be ambushed, but the alien calls out in her native language, and the suit begins to translate, and what she's saying is that he will bow before her, Inca, Queen of the Wuggan. Flash defends himself, telling her that he missed the first part there, but either way, his name was Flash Thompson. Nice to meet her. Inca swings away, saying that he speaks their word, Flash Thompson. He is one of the usurpers who have come to destroy their world. As Flash holds his arm out, he tells her that he's not one of the usurpers. Actually, he's there to help. Any chance that she can take him to the usurpers? Inca steps back and tells him fine, she will take him there. But any false movements and she will eat his skull. Flash tells her that that's fair. A short walk later, Inca points out to her warriors who are fighting the beings known as the Underdwellers who live inside of the Great Eye. Since something landed inside of the Great Volcano, the
That
Underdwellers
would be my computer going, oh look, we're going to stop working.
All they want to do is help. Flash tells Inca that he needs to get up there so that he can get inside of the
Whenever
Great
he's
Eye
got
and
a
get this
cam-
whole thing sorted out.
screen,
Inca says,
let me
fine.
know.
To the battle then! Along with the Wuggan warriors, Flash fights his way through the Great Eye, and 803 radios that he's pretty sure the suit won't handle much more, especially jumping into a pit of lava. Flash tells him that he's going to go radio silent for a bit, and 803 asks, if you don't return, do I at least have permission to fly to the nearest star? Flash leaps in and says, no, you have permission to live forever and write epic songs about me. As Flash swims through, he finds a device planted in the volcano's core and destroys it. He reaches his hand back out, and Inca grabs him and kisses him, telling him that he always has a place here in her husband's stable. Flash responds, telling her that he may have to take a rain check on that. And back up on his ship, he hops out of the Rumble suit, telling himself he just kissed an alien. Totally didn't know that that was on his bucket list. Besides, that Rumble suit worked like a charm. No sooner does he say that than the suit falls apart. 803 asks, you were saying? 803 then mentions, I have something that I would like to give you if you would be so kind as to head to the med bay. Flash heads over there asking what did he want to show him, and 803 says that it is not a song. He has made him a pair of legs. A short while later, Flash sets himself up on the prosthetic legs and says that he's going to need a cane while he figures these things out. He then thanks 803 and realizes something and asks a very important question. Who's flying the ship? 803 brings Flash back to the control room and tells him that it's the Clintar. And Venom looks back, telling Flash, it's probably time that we had a talk. Flash sits with Venom and he tells him that this is a little strange. And Venom responds with, "Tell me about it." Flash asks how come he's never done this before, become a sentient being from himself. And Venom tells him that he couldn't. Not since he's been cleansed, but now here they are. Venom goes on, saying that he can hold this form for about an hour, but with practice he should be able to hold it for half an Earth day, allowing them to work as separate entities if needed. If you're still wondering what's going on, this all started when the Venom symbiote went back to its home world and learned that it was supposed to be a hero for the cosmos, someone to save people. And his original race, the Clintar, purged him of all of those evil thoughts and hatred that he was building up with. Anyway, Venom tells Flash that when they're joined, he can feel the cosmos better. They make great partners. Flash tells him it's nice to hear that. Speaking of, do you hear that humming? Just then, the ship is shot and begins to fall out of space as it crash lands down on a planet. Flash gets out, telling Venom that he appreciates him wrapping him up. And Venom tells him that he won't be able to communicate in this form, but he will always be here. Flash gets out, pulling some of the debris, and he calls out for 803, his droid that he rescued. Throwing the rebel aside, 803 says that he's here, but he's afraid that they may be under attack. Flash tells him, "You don't say!" And 803 goes on to say that he scanned the attacking ship. The only life form that he found on it was Peak Rolo, a vicious criminal. Flash turns around to see Peak and asks if he's sure that she is a criminal. And 803 says yes. She's wanted for murder, treason, and arson across 15 systems. She is a menace. But as Peak stands before them, Flash says, "She's adorable!" But just as he says that, Peak smacks him, shouting, "Your head belongs to Mercure." She grabs 803 and starts to tear him apart as he yells, "Sweet release 111-00101." Flash jumps back in punching, and as the two of them fight, Flash begins to rip off Peak's spacesuit, telling her that she hurt his friend, which pisses him off. And when he gets mad, his partner takes over. Venom takes over, and a small beam of light shoots in, hitting Flash and Peak, knocking them both out. An alien ship then flies down, and two robots step out, stating that they needed warm bodies for their master. Their master will surely be pleased. As they are brought aboard the ship and placed in holding containers, Flash tells Peak that this is all her fault. "You sad, sad panda." She responds, telling him that she is not a panda. She is a Rulato, and what she has experienced is not sadness. She feels only rage. Flash looks around at all the other aliens and containers and says that rage might come in handy, going where he thinks this is going to go. Soon, all of the prisoners are released into the arena, and the Master Robot shouts that their deaths at the hands of their battle beast shall be for nothing. And Flash shouts he hates when he's right. He then turns to Peak and tells her that if they're going to live through this, he's going to have to kill her. And Peak responds with, "You're welcome to try. Though, for what it's worth, I'm sorry. Mercure has my child." Giant beasts begin to make their way into the arena, and the Master Robot shouts that they will teach him the ways of war. Once he's had enough, he'll rule the universe. When the fighting begins, Peak explains that Mercure is a Gramosin, which are normally peaceful. However, their planet requires vast quantities of energy to survive, and Mercure went rogue. He now collects energy and weapons from all over the galaxy. One day he raided their planet and kidnapped their greatest warriors, but since he extorted them into a criminal life, she's the only one that's left alive. As the bodies begin to fall, Flash says that he'll make her a deal. If they do survive this, she will take him to Mercure so that they can take him out together and save the kid. They both continue to fight, and the bodies fall until there's only one person left, Venom. The Master Robot steps from his throne and calls out, "At last, the Great White Bear has fallen." But as the Master Robot goes on, Flash begins to laugh. The Master Robot says he does not know why he is laughing. Humor is not required. But from behind the Master Robot, Peak's shadow looms over, and she rips the Master Robot's head off. All of the other robot guards rush down and surround them. And while you would assume that they are there to battle against them, they end up bowing and shouting, "Praise the new masters!" Flash says, how about they all just go free? Declare themselves as their new masters. But another robot shouts, "We live to serve! Tell us how to serve!" So Flash follows up by telling them he's going to have to sleep on it. He has something to go check on. A little while later, Peak says that she's not sure why they're coming back here. And Flash says that he's not leaving his friend behind. But the sentence is stopped when Flash sees a fully repaired 803 and a fully repaired ship. He asks 803 what happened, and 803 says sadly, he was not killed. So he put himself back together as well as the ship. Peak says that she's sorry that she nearly destroyed him, but 803 says that he only wished that she had finished the job. Once everyone gets on the ship, Flash says, "All right, let's go rescue your kid." After their getaway, everyone meets in the weapons hangar, and Peak asks if this is really their only options. Flash says that this was their stealthiest of options. It will work. Probably. As her and Flash get ready, she tells them that if that was humor, it was unfortunately timed. Venom begins to cover the both of them, and Flash says they're going to get her kid back, as long as they survive this part. Outside of the ship, preparations to fire are set, and then the ship fires Venom shaped like a missile. The missile Venom orbits Mercio's planet and crashes down. And as Flash and Peak get out of the wreckage, she says that she prays to the gods that she'll never have to endure such a thing again. The two make their way to the base, but Flash begins to notice none of the guards are running to stop them. Peak tells him that he is less than intimidating, and Flash says that's funny coming from a murderous space bear. But then they stop as the guards come out, and Flash says that he vouched for her, and Peak says that she's sorry. The guards grab onto Flash as he manages to punch at Peak. He struggles trying to fight as Peak hits him back, stating that she had no choice. She had to protect her child. As the guards walk away, leaving Flash on the ground, one says that it's time to give him the treatment. A sonic blast emits, peeling off Venom, leaving him as just a pile of goo. Mercio then walks out saying he finally gets to meet the man meddling in his affairs. Flash gets up charging towards Mercio, but he's easily knocked down. He picks himself back up and runs again, but this time Mercio takes out his sword, cutting the prosthetic legs off, telling him that he's nothing without his Clintar. He then raises the sword to kill Flash, but Peak tells him to wait. They need him alive for now. The Clintar is bonded to him. Until they can fix the Clintar, his plan would be for nothing. Flash crawls, shouting not to lay a hand on him, but Mercio kicks him down, knocking him out. The guards then pick up Flash's body, and Mercio tells them to take him to the pit. He examines the puddle that is Venom, and he tells Peak that she played her part well. Perhaps a little too well. Peak lunges at Mercio, burying her claws, and without even getting up, Mercio releases an electronic pulse, shocking her. He continues beating down on her until more guards begin to drag her away, and as they do, he tells them to inform her that she will need to kill her friend or he will drown her child. A short while later, Peak is thrown into a pit alongside Flash, and as she lands, he tells her, look, he told her that it would work. And she says that if she was not broken right now, she would break him. However, back outside, Mercio begins to laugh, as he is now bonded with Venom. Mercio tells Venom that he feels strange. They're not wearing each other. It's as if they are one, and he can feel the hunger. However, he cannot fear it. He shall keep him well fed. Back down in the pit, Flash hears the door shift open, and he says, right on schedule. As Mercio steps in, Flash asks, how bad is it? Peak says that it looks like this is going to be the end. Flash then says that he wasn't talking to her. Suddenly, Venom starts to peel himself away from Mercio, telling Flash, it's worse than we thought. This man has an armada. Mercio shouts, you must obey me! But Flash tells him, just give him a nice squeeze. As Venom reaches back out, he wraps his arms around Mercio and he begins to crush and break his body. He then slams him down and starts to beat on him until Flash tells him, enough! After stopping, Venom says, I'm sorry. Please, let me return to where I belong. Mercio then crawls out, calling for his guards to kill them, and Flash runs towards the exit, with Peak saying that she's pretty sure the bad guys are behind them. Flash says Mercio called for backup, which is smart, because he too called for backup. Outside, they see all of the Cujin warriors and the robots all fighting and taking down Mercio's army. As Ika stabs into one of the soldiers, she asks if the furry thing is a friend. And Flash says that it is Peak Rolo. Peak Rolo, this is Ika. With her back against Peak's, Ika says that she's already placed a husbandry claim on the human. And Peak tells her that he's all hers. One of the robots then shoots at the soldier, shouting, "For master!" And Flash tells him, I am not your master! You're supposed to be free! Through the crowd, Mercio runs up, punching Flash, calling him weak. And as he does, Venom begins to take over again. After a roaring scream, Venom grabs Mercio and slams him to the ground and grabs the closest piece of machinery that there is. Venom shouts, we are not weak! We are Venom! And he begins bashing Mercio over and over. Flash tries to tell Venom to stop, but Venom continues to hit him. Soon 803 shouts for him to stop, please. Flash tells him he didn't know what, but 803 says, it's okay, it is now over. Behind them, Mercio fires a gun, hitting Flash, shouting, it isn't over! We're gonna meet again, and next time you're gonna die! As Mercio tries to get away, 803 says that he's sorry that he got in the way. Please feel free to deactivate me. Flash tells him, no, you did good. You got everyone here. And then the voice of Peak shouts, Hilla! Peak picks up Hilla, and she asks if there's anything left for her to destroy. Peak pops her on her shoulders, telling her, that's her girl. Flash grabs 803, telling him that he told her the plan would work. And Peak says, next time, tell her the whole plan. Flash then asks what she means by next time. And Peak says, well, this ship needs a crew. Off in the crowd, Ika shouts that she needs a quest. She will come make a name for herself. Also, he seems unstable, and she finds that attractive. Flash tells everyone, fine, you can come if you want, but I'm no captain. Also, there's no pay. 803 asks, what about the robots? And Flash says, I know what to do with them. He orders the robots to protect both the planets of the first aliens that he came across, and quickly leaves before they ask anything else. Later aboard the ship, everyone relaxes as they have a small party. But Venom is not with them. Venom sits alone, looking at himself in the mirror, and slowly, his face begins to change. Before getting back into the universe, though, Ika looks at their new spaceship, telling Flash that she doesn't understand the scribbling on the side. Do ships where he come with terrible names? Flash tells her, "How dare you?" and Pick adds that she has to agree with Ika. Everyone looks up at the newly acquired ship that he has apparently named the USS Enterprise. Flash says that at least it's nice to have a new ship anyway. While sifting through and salvaging the remains of the robots from their last battle, 803, the suicidal robot that helped them out, said that he has a bit of concerns pointing upwards. Flash asks if he doesn't like the name of the ship either, and 803 responds that his concern isn't the foolishly named ship, it is that ship. Up above, another spaceship begins to land, and Flash asks if by any chance they could be friendly, and 803 tells him that with his luck, does he really need to ask? As the ship lands, Tarna steps out, stating that she is here to inform Flash that the agents of the cosmos are quite pleased with his progress. Flash tells her that he's pretty sure it wasn't easy for her to say that, and she tells him, "You have no idea. But nevertheless, your recent battle has proven that you are a worthy host, which is why we must speak in private." Flash says that if she has a problem with his crew, but Tarna stops him, telling him that his selection of companions are dubious, but rather she would like to speak to him without the Clintar. Just as Tarna finishes her sentence, her Clintar begins to separate, revealing that Tarna is a Skrull. Flash stares and Tarna asks if her appearance upsets him. He tells her no, just Skrulls and the folks from Earth never really played well together. She assures him that her allegiance is to the cosmos. Now, a moment alone, please. Once finally shedding Venom, Tarna pulls Flash aside to inform him that there is a bit of concern involving Venom. The agents, they all felt rage. She goes on stating that since Venom bonded to Mercutio, they felt a pulse from him, and since then the rage inside of him has been steadily growing. She has come to tell him that Venom is not to be trusted. Since the cleansing, the Clintar are monitoring for any type of impurities, and Venom is not pure, which is why they need to find Flash a replacement Clintar. Flash stops her, telling her that impure or not, Venom is my friend. I'm not about to let you take him away just so that you can kill him. Tarna extends a spike from her wrist, telling Flash that it is not a request. As Flash and Tarna begin to battle against each other, Ika and Pick watch, and Ika says that it seems as though they are mating. Pick tells her that, "I'm not convinced you know what mating actually looks like." But furthermore, both Flash and Tarna's Clintars watch. Venom asks if they're training, and Tarna's Clintar says no. Tarna has come to collect him so that he may be returned to the cosmos. Venom then says, "That is an agreeable way of saying destroyed, isn't it?" Tarna's Clintar tells him that it's not what you think. But before he can even finish, Venom jumps out of shouting, "I'm done thinking!" Back with Ika and Pick, Ika says, "That is clearly combat. Perhaps we should be assisting." And Pick tells her, "You're right. I'll take the inky puddle." Ika then jumps in to help Flash, but before she can even attack, Tarna kicks her away. Ika then picks herself up, stating that she just made her bleed. At last, a true challenge! But as Flash punches Tarna, he tells her that there should be less trash talking and more punching. While Venom and the other Clintar are fighting, Pick jumps in to try and help, but the other Clintar just throws her aside. Tarna punches Flash down, telling him to stand down. And then Venom towers over her, telling her, "If you want me, you should have talked to me." Venom starts to beat down on Tarna, and just as Tarna's Clintar tries to help, Venom rips him in half and runs off. Flash calls out for Venom to hold on, but he doesn't listen and he boards the ship. Tarna's Clintar groans as he puts himself back together, and then they all hear a humming, and suddenly the ship engine turns on, frying him. Seconds later, the ship rockets off into the sky, and Venom laughs as he flies away. As some time passes, it doesn't take long for Flash and everyone else to figure out where Venom has been stopping. He's been stopping in all of the planets that him and Flash have rescued. And Flash tells everyone that Venom is sending him a message. "This is all my fault." After helping clean up the destruction left by Venom, Pick asks why would Venom start undoing the rights that they have previously done. And Flash says that his best guess would be that Venom thinks of himself as an agent of chaos, not of the cosmos. As everyone begins to head back to Tarna's ship, she mentions that she will have the rest of the agents assist in the cleanup of the planets, but it might be best if Flash doesn't. But Flash interrupts her, telling her, "I won't let you kill my friend, no matter what he's done." Next, the crew heads out to the next planet where Flash and Venom were supposed to be relaxing, but instead Venom drank everything and destroyed a bar. While going through the destroyed bar, the bartender explains what happened and tells Flash that the Clintar drank everything except this. He slides over a cheap beer bottle, and the bartender goes on to say that the Clintar said that he left this for his drinking buddy. Tarna tells the bartender that the agents of the cosmos will help fix all of this for him, but Flash just stares at the bottle. Tarna calls out to him, and he grabs the bottle and throws it against a wall and walks out. Over in Tarna's ship, Pick and her daughter begin to hear some buzzing coming from the vents. Pick turns around to see Venom's tendrils creep through, and she jumps on her child to protect her. Just before Flash and Tarna can enter the ship, Tarna shoves Flash out of the way, telling him to look out. Venom smashes through them, asking Flash if he's feeling a bit thirsty. From behind, Ika jumps in with her sword, but before she can even reach him, Venom swings back, knocking her away. Venom then turns back to Flash and grabs him, telling him that it feels good to be him again. Tarna charges in with a broken piece of the debris, but before she can get an attack off, she's knocked away. Flash calls out to everyone that they need to fall back. Venom only wants him, and Ika shouts they will not leave him alone. As Tarna is thrown into a wall, she says leaving actually sounds like a pretty good idea. After beating everyone to the ground, Venom starts to make his way over to the ship, and Flash tries to tell him to stop, but rather than listen, Venom boards the ship and begins to take off. While everyone is still recovering from the battle, Flash decides to board the ship along with Venom. While Tarna helps Ika up, everyone watches Flash fly away, and Ika asks what should they do now. Tarna tells them that if they have gods, they should start praying to them. A short while later up in space, Flash heads towards the ship controls, while Venom tells him that he just wanted to show him the truth. Show him who he truly was. Flash sits back in the pilot seat. He tries to access the controls, but it tells him that he's locked out. He asks where he's taking them, and Venom says, to the place where it all began. The spaceship lands on a barren snow planet, and as the hatch opens, Venom tells Flash to go out and follow the path. Through the icy winds, Flash walks, and while Venom continues telling him that this is the path that they've always been on, the path to their home, he continues to state that this is the place where the first host was born. Flash asks to be brought him here to kill him because there's some symmetry to that, but Venom tells him no. Today is a day of rebirth. Before Flash is a field of gravestones as far as the eye can see, and Venom says that this is where it all happened. His first host came back to this homeworld and murdered everyone. They murdered everyone. Flash looks down at the open graves, telling him, this is not who you are. This isn't your fault. And Venom stops him. This is who we are. We are both agents of death, not of the cosmos. Never in your life have you been good, been selfless, or even kind. The grave in front of Flash reads Flash Thompson, and Venom begins to crawl out from it, telling him, it's time to accept your fate. The gravestone shatters as Venom grows larger, and he grabs Flash, covering his entire body, and he tells him, it's time to achieve your true potential. Flash Thompson is dead. Long live Venom. Everything begins to turn black, and Flash asks where he's taking him. Venom says, to where you belong. I'm taking you home.
Okay, we've got about half an hour left on that playlist, but I've got no more time to do any more live streams today, guys. So, thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you in the recorded video once I've finished doing it, guys. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time. Hopefully you have enjoyed this. Hopefully you've learned a little bit if you needed to. Otherwise, thanks for watching, guys. See you in the next one. Loot 084. Click the links to take you to the other playlists or other videos, or just subscribe. Bye for now.